And then I'm going to sit down and talk to one of my cousins who has been diagnosed with this weird mental health disorder. And I'm going to talk about it right here and right now. Hello, Brendan Show subscribers or viewers. My name is Brendan. Oh, you know me. Welcome to this very special interview with my wonderful cousin, Jasmine Watkins, who should be above me or right next to me. I think it's this way. Wherever. I just wanted to do this interview because I'm going to be interviewing her on how she was basically diagnosed with this major depressive disorder. And when I heard about this story, guys, it was very inspiring. And I hope you guys, once you hear from her, you guys will think it's inspiring too. It's amazing how this wonderful person had made through this amazing thing, and how she's doing great in her life right now. So hey Jasmine, so how you doing today right now?
I'm doing pretty good. I got up, I was active, I went for a run, I did some yoga, I read a book. I've been doing great today.
Nice. Can you introduce yourself to my audience here, please?
Sure. So I'm Jasmine, and I actually have my own YouTube channel called Life of Jasmine, where I talk about mental health because my mind matters, and I talk about it. I'm sporting some of Chris Wood's merchandise right now. You can find this shirt on idon'tmind.com. It's not sponsored. I just love and support anything that's mental health related. I have a YouTube channel. I talk about mental health. I also like to vlog sometimes. I would like to be able to travel and do some vlogging and photography. I also have my own emotional support dog. Her name is Sky, and she's a pit bull, and she is just the most amazing thing ever. Cool. And I live in South Carolina, and I'm 22 years old.
All right. That's cool. Speaking about your YouTube channel, I'll be linking that in my social medias. I'll make a post about it too on my Instagram and Facebook pages as well, and have a link to it on my Snapchat. And hopefully you guys can check that out. It's a really cool channel, and what you do is amazing. I really like what you do, Jasmine.
Thank you.
But yeah, so guys, check it out. So let's move on in this interview. So why do you have a support dog, and can you introduce us to why you have this mental health disorder?
Okay. So I grew up with a dog since I was 7 years old, and she recently passed away back in February. Mm-hmm. And when that happened, I just kind of lost my purpose in life. I really didn't have a purpose to get up and do things because I didn't have a dog to take care of because she was really old. And so I've been wanting to get an emotional support dog for a really long time. But after my dog passed away, I ended up actually trying to kill myself and ended up in the mental hospital. And despite my mom's allergy to dogs and refusal to get me another dog, she was finally convinced that I needed to get one. So I got Sky. And why emotional support dogs are important to me is because it gives you kind of a responsibility, something else to live for. Whenever you're not really motivated to do anything for yourself, you're like, I have to take care of this precious little thing. I have to feed it, I have to take care of it, I have to make sure they get exercise. Therefore, you get your own exercise as well, which also helps with mental health. It keeps you moving and motivated. And then of course, there's a ton of things that emotional support dogs can do for you, like DPT, which is deep pressure therapy. Which means they can just lay on you, just have all their body weight on you. It just gives you that comforting feeling. It helps with depression, helps with anxiety. It gets the little chemicals going in your head, when you just need that physical touch. Just to know that there's someone else there for you. You're not alone. You're not totally alone. You have a little tiny animal. Yeah, it's your own Pokemon, pretty much. And
Yeah.
and they can also do things like if you have signs, like if you have the jitters, if you shake your leg, they can paw at you and kind of like get your attention to just like, hey, just calm down. And that's something that she's done for me is and I haven't even trained her to do this, but immediately after I got her, there was a time when I had a total breakdown and I was crying, and she just came up to me and she put her paws on my shoulders and she just hugged me.
Aw.
And it was just the sweetest thing ever. And then there was a time when I got really, really angry and I was pacing and I was pulling at my hair. I was yelling and she came up and she jumped on me, and I just like, okay, I'll stop. And I got on the floor and I just hugged her until I calmed down. So dogs are very helpful. There are other forms of emotional support animals as well. Like you can get a cat.
Mhm.
I don't know what they would do, but whatever your preference is.
That's cool. I guess whenever like it's cool to have one, just like if you even have a dog like at your house or something, like like if you're ever like in a bad mood or something, you can always like go and pet them, and like they'll really make your day and stuff like that.
Sensory. There's a thing about sensory that also helps if you're like having anxiety attack or something. So having an animal there, you can also like focus on like petting it and think about the feel, the fur, how soft is it short hair, long hair, whatever, and just kind of focus on that, and just like calms you down and brings you back to earth.
So that's really cool and amazing, I gotta say. So so how did this all got started? How like I'm sorry if this gets a little too personal for you, but like before like your old dog died, like what happened before you were diagnosed and you had to get a support dog?
If you're talking about major depressive disorder, I was never really officially diagnosed with it. It was just something that progressed in my life. It was a daily consistency for me. It was that feeling of depression, and everything that went along with it. But when was it? It was like last year. Yeah, it was last year. It was when I decided I need to go to therapy.
Mhm.
And I just felt good, like being able to just do something for myself and to have that place where I can just talk about myself, about what's going on in my mind. It's just great. So I met my therapist and we talked about, some self-diagnostics, which is what you call it. And she agrees that I have major depressive disorder. So it's official diagnosis now.
But yeah, it's a very interesting disorder. I thought like people going through depression was just like something that happens in some people's lives, and apparently that can like learning this kind of took that info that I've learned kind of to the next level, and like really learning how like some people may have like a real problem, a real emotional problem with this and stuff like that. So like it's very interesting about that.
There is a real difference between like going through depression versus having depression. Like a normal person can go through depression, like we all go through depression.
Mhm.
But if you're a normal person and you go through depression and then you're still like ultimately optimistic and you still, get on top and like, oh, that's just, something I went through, I'm okay now. And then you go and tell a person with depression, it'll get better. No, it doesn't. Because a person with depression, this is what they live with constantly throughout their life, and they can't just snap out of it. It takes time and practice, and it never really goes away. It doesn't. It just doesn't. You can get better at it, but it doesn't go away.
So what is your borderline personality? I know you mentioned that earlier. So what is that?
So, borderline personality disorder is what I was diagnosed with when I got into the mental hospital after I tried to kill myself. Borderline personality disorder is the reason why I have an emotional support dog. Because having borderline personality disorder means that you don't really have a sense of yourself, really. Like, you have trouble, like, knowing really who you are, what you want in your life. But the biggest thing for me is the favorite person thing. A favorite person is basically a person that you're emotionally latched onto. It could be in a romantic sense, for me it is, or it could just be a friend or whatever. But for me, it's romantic. And I'm just latched onto this person, and pretty much my entire being is just centered onto them. And whenever they don't give me any attention or any feedback or whatever, if I don't hear from them in so long, or if anything between us goes really wrong, it just affects me really badly. Like, I can stop eating, I can get suicidal. I distance myself from everything and get really irritable and in a really depressive mood, sometimes self-destructive. And then when things become really, really good between us, then, you know, I'm like on the peak. I'm like on cloud 9. And it's just like the best thing ever going on. So that's basically what a favorite person is for someone with borderline personality disorder. You can look it up. There's a lot more that you can just read online. I actually have a couple videos on my channel about it, so you guys can go check that out.
The video might be linked down in my description below this video, so I'll probably link that so you guys can learn more about it. I'm description below for you guys. But yeah, I think that is very interesting, and I'm happy I've learned that you survived, and you went to and after all that borderline stuff and happened, and you not being able to see someone that you loved or wanted to be your husband.
That's actually why I killed myself, is because something went really wrong between us, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm tired of feeling this pain from this person. I'm tired of thinking about this person when he doesn't give me the time of day. So I overdosed on sleeping pills. I was tired, so I took sleeping pills. But I survived.
Yeah.
Stronger because of it.
Right. That is absolutely amazing. I'm happy you got a chance after like did your family ever notice you were going through all this?
Yeah, typically it's very noticeable if I'm going through a really, really hard time. Like, normally I'm used to everything going on, so it's like I'm not even trying to push through it. I'm just like living with it. But some days it can get really, really hard and really heavy, and it's very noticeable because I get really irritable. I am distanced. I'm not really interested in anything. So yeah, I'm just not a happy person.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Anything else? So like, how do you, like, if you ever get stressed at any moment in your life, like, how do you, like, basically you talk to your dog, you like touch your dog and stuff like that with those sensory things that we talked about earlier. Like, what other things other than that, maybe, like, how do you deal with stress, basically?
That's a good question. I definitely like to listen to music, and what I do is I just built it out. I'm in my house alone a lot, so I get the chance to just sing my heart out, ruin my voice. That really helps me because it gets me moving, it gets me dancing, it gets me like in the feels. What else do I do? I like to take baths. like with a bath bomb or face mask, just pamper myself. It's really good self-care. Um, I would say painting, but sometimes painting stresses me out too.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. What else is there?
Like, how's life been since you were diagnosed, and like, how you been like after you were diagnosed? Like, how did you change yourself? How did you um go from this very depressed mood to like your happy, joyful mood, right? That you are like living and feeling right now.
It's a roller coaster, really. Some days are good, some days are bad. But yeah, so like realizing that I have BPD was a big change for me because, you know, this whole time I was thinking about this guy, with my Christian background, I was always praying about it, and I felt like I was getting confirmations that this guy was the one. I was seeing all these signs, but now it's like I have this disorder that basically is telling me that everything was a lie. So now it was like I know nothing. Like it affected me so badly. I was like, I don't know anything anymore. I felt so disconnected from God, and I was just so lost, and I didn't know how I was going to move on from that. So basically what I just needed to do was just to focus on myself, like just forget what was going on, what I was dealing with, and just focus on myself and, be active, be creative, live my life with the people that I do have, and just focus on just changing myself in some ways. And now I feel like I'm in a good place where I'm at a balance. Like I understand my disorder now, like I understand it more than I did, but I'm also closer to God because I'm still working on that relationship and trying to understand that more as well. And I still get confirmations saying that this guy's the one. So I just gotta see what's gonna happen.
I guess we will have to see what if God has in store for you in the future, I guess.
Yeah, it's a big mystery. Definitely a big mystery.
All right. Any final thoughts before we end this interview? Anything you would like to say? Anything you want to promote yourself with? I guess.
I guess I just want to share my motto: never settle for unhappiness. Like if you're not happy in a job, not happy in a relationship, or whatever is going on in your life, push forward for something better. Okay, because you don't have to stay in this unhappy state. You can make things happen and, find what makes you you. Find what makes you happy, someone that you can be proud of.
I would agree to that. My motto, I would like to say, is to always be positive and help others and stuff like that, and help others to be at their best. That's my motto. Yeah. All right. Thanks for sharing. That is amazing. I'll make sure your YouTube channel is linked down in my description below, and everything, and in the video about your borderline depression disorder in the description. So, guys, if you like this interview, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the Brandon Show. And then I guess that is everything from here, from me, from Jasmine right next to me or above me. I don't know how this video is gonna work until I edit it. But yeah, so see you later, Jasmine. It was great talking with you. Don't leave the call, please. Head over to the conclusion of this video right now. Thank you for watching the Brandon Show on mental health. And always have a nice day, everyone. See you in the next video.